This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
You're listening to KEMPIRE here on the KEMPIRE Radio Network.
Here we go now. Here we go now. What's going on, y'all? Happy Pride. Happy Pride. Welcome back to the KEMPIRE channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As I said before, happy Pride, happy June, all that good stuff. We recapped Real Housewives of Atlanta yesterday and started and kicked off our Pride Month celebration, but also our Pride Month fundraiser. We are raising money for the center located here in New York City, doing amazing things for the LGBT community, but the community in general. And our goal, we're trying to raise more than we did last year and beat that goal of $6,000 this year. We set the goal for $10,000 because we're starting on time. So this week, we would like to get to $2,500. So whatever you can donate, share this video, share any of our last couple of videos so that people can donate. 100% of your donation goes to the organization. So please donate. And thank you to everyone that's already donated. And if you haven't already, be sure to like today's video. Okay, we're here to talk about the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. I did find out that Rhode Island the season finale is happening in like a week or two. And then the reunion part 1 will begin this month. And then I saw that Cynthia Bailey said that the Real Housewives of Atlanta is going to be filming their reunion this month as well. And for those that have been waiting to get a Real Housewives of Atlanta after show, apparently we're not getting one. We ain't getting one, child. Nope. I don't know why. I don't know how they decide on these things. I don't know if they just don't have the time. I don't know if they don't have the budget, because there are quite a few housewives. I don't know if it's because the cast is in such disarray. When I say disarray, meaning they're so severed and whatnot. I don't know if they're severed. I'm just saying that in general. I don't get why we're not filming an after show for the show. And I feel like for the most part, people do feel like this is a good season. Last season, not so much, but people feel like this season has gotten a lot better. And some people say it's because of K. Michelle. K. Michelle's delusions of grandeur have made it more entertaining. Look, I don't know about that. I'm being facetious, y'all. But some people do say, oh, people are talking about Atlanta, so it's all because of K. Michelle. I don't know if that's the only reason. K. Michelle's delusions are actually annoying to a lot of us. Just going to say that. But I just wanted to mention that. The ratings for Atlanta, I didn't see this week's ratings for Atlanta, but the ratings have been decent. And I get it. A lot of you end up watching Real Housewives of Atlanta on Peacock. And the same goes for Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Their ratings have been pretty decent too, especially for a new show. Okay? So, sorry, y'all. I feel like I got something in my throat. That's what Kelsey said. What? Oh my goodness, Kelsey. I have thoughts about Kelsey and I just don't know. I just don't know, Kelsey. We'll get to it. I will say this particular episode, especially because I was stopping and taking notes, it felt a little choppy, this episode. There were like all kinds of scenes, and maybe because they're finalizing the end of the season, so they want to include everybody, including Rula, because Rula barely has filmed. We got one little clip of Rula doing a backflip or a front flip with her kids, and then we get to see her sit down with Liz, because now they're both upset at Joellen. I have a lot of thoughts, and I probably will be twerking on a fence when it comes to the Liz and Joellen of it all. Let's start there, though, because they're on their way to Boston to attend Rosie's husband's Sinatra Sunday performance. I'll get to the performance in a second. I'll get to the performance in just a second. In the car, we talked about this a lot last week. In the car, they talk about, Lord, they talk about Alicia and her being homeless and her feelings on that, and Liz saying that's not what it was. And Joellen's just allowed her to have her feelings. And I have to say, this is where I agree with Liz, why she just can't stand Joellen right now, because that's not what you were saying the night before. And it does feel like that Joellen talks out two sides of her face. And I don't feel like her wanting to help people is 100% genuine. Even when she's saying, oh, Rula, if you want me to get more information for you, I'll get more information for you. No, I do believe that there's some self-producing here. I do believe that she's not 100% genuine. Sorry, y'all. Sidebar, this is pre-recorded. Just because I have a lot of stuff going on this week. It's already been a crazy busy week. So this is pre-recorded, but you want this, don't you? Tuesday Takeover is not here, but this is like a mini Tuesday Takeover because we're including talking about Real Housewives of Rhode Island, all right? So I don't know this. You know what it is? Because I ate before this. And this is why normally you guys, oh, you should just eat before. No, this is why I don't eat before. Goodness. All right. Sorry for clearing, for those that are listening to the podcast version, sorry for clearing my throat in your ear. So in the car, Alicia and Liz get into it, and Alicia gets really emotional about it because Alicia just feels like, why are you downplaying my experience? And I don't want to spend another week of us arguing. Alicia is entitled to her feelings. Liz, you're being ridiculous. I'm very tired of that, and I'm glad that this season is about to end because if we spend another 4 episodes talking about the same thing, as I said before, I feel like this episode was choppy. And you know we waited a long time before we got this new season of Rhode Island. I'm feeling like they did a lot of editing. And for me, the big test would be the reunion, whether or not this really is a great cast. And it's been a good season, don't get me wrong. But very much like Salt Lake City, I think a lot of the editing makes Salt Lake City great. But when they do their reunions where, yes, there's editing, but it's one day that they're capturing. And Salt Lake City's reunions are usually lackluster. I just have a feeling that the Rhode Island reunion might be lackluster. I am open to being wrong, and I want to watch it for myself when it happens. But I just have a feeling. Anyone else? I just have a feeling that the reunion is not going to give what it's supposed to give, like Atlanta does. This is why you got to give Atlanta credit over the years. They've always brought it. They brought it during the season, and then they definitely bring it during the reunion. I don't know. In Potomac, too. Potomac as well. What cities that are not Potomac or Atlanta has brought it to reunion? Maybe RHORI in the early years, not the reboot. And if you're a Club KEMPIRE member, I dropped some tea in regards to RHORI and filming. I also dropped some tea about Real Housewives of Potomac. Club KEMPIRE Apple Podcast subscription. Go check it out. Even if you don't have an Apple product, you can go to the website. Anyway, I've digressed. So we saw last week what went down between Alicia and Liz, and Joellen was literally in the middle of it all. So Alicia says that out of respect for her family, Liz should not have questioned her experience. And apparently it seems as if Liz is trying to make it seem as if she's actually looking out for Alicia. She's looking out for the family because she's close friends with the family, which is kind of, this is what happens with reality television. These people all grew up with each other. These people... Isn't Liz supposed to be like best friends with one of the aunts or something like that? So now it feels like now that's all up in smoke after years of friendship because of reality television. Okay, fine. If that's what you guys want to do. So Joellen tries to have a combo with Liz, and Liz is not interested. So they get out of the sprinter. Alicia borrows Joellen's sunglasses because she's still crying. That edit in regards to, I don't know if it was an edit or Alicia really was, she would stop and then all of a sudden tears be falling down her face. Although Liz has a hard side, Alicia has a hard side to her and a funny side to her. She also has a very sensitive side to her. And I'm not sure exactly what's making her so emotional. I don't know if it's because it's affected her friendship with Liz and they used to be at least good. And now she knows this is a bigger situation than just a reality show. And maybe that's why she's tearing the way she's tearing. Or maybe there was more that we didn't see. Because again, we're watching an edited version of what went down in that car. So Joellen tries to have a conversation with Liz, and Liz is just sitting there. And here's the thing. I'm kind of like this too. If I'm upset, don't talk to me. Give me a moment. And if the tables were reversed and I was Joellen, I would have left Liz alone. You're going to be sitting there pouting and mad. I'm not going to force a conversation with you. I'm not going to be in your face. If you're going out for a cigarette, go have your cigarette, go relax. And maybe things would have gotten better. Joellen was actually annoying. So I'm not surprised that it blew up to her fiddling with her hair, pushing her chair. Not saying that it was right, but at some point, it's just, Joellen, shut up. And I see that with Joellen when it comes to the rule of it all. Yes, the ruler of it all, if Ruler want to stay with that cheating man, let her stay with that cheating man. Now it's becoming annoying. Joellen's becoming annoying with this. If someone's upset, if I'm upset, leave me alone. If I'm going to be pouting, leave me alone. And vice versa. If I see you're pouting, I'm going to leave you alone. I'll try at first and then just gauge the situation, temperature check the situation. And if I see, oh, you're not feeling it, then I'm going to leave you alone. And she didn't do that. She was actually annoying. And I'm not sure if Joellen is doing that for television or if she's just that type of person. Because there are those types of people. When you have said, I need a moment, and they're constantly like, are you good? What's wrong? So replaying it and now talking to you guys about it, I'm just like, Joellen, that's annoying. I'm not saying that Liz was right because I don't agree with Liz in her assessment of the homelessness versus not being homeless. But at the same time, you're annoying. And I think Liz is annoyed with her as well because of her lack of authenticity. Because she's like, the other night you were saying one thing, now you're saying a different thing. And you're making me the scapegoat. You're making me the only person that feels this way. I get her frustration. Not saying that I agree with her about the homelessness, but I understand her frustration with Joellen. Now you're kind of throwing me under the bus as if I'm the only person that felt this way. Okay. So Liz doubles down, though. Here's the thing, Liz. You can't apologize to Alicia and then double down that Alicia was not actually homeless. And then she tries to make it seem like she's some sort of martyr. She's just, I also don't want Alicia going around with that narrative. What is going on with Liz? Is it just she's relaxed? Is she getting high off her own supply in regards to the weed? Remember, she's the queen of weed? Because to me, that doesn't give weed, but maybe it does. See, I'm not really good with gauging if it's pills or weed. You guys let me know. It just feels like something else. Like when she has that scene with Rula later on in the episode, and Rula's running away from the bee, and Liz is just, yeah, and I'm actually the one that's allergic. But she ain't flinching. She's not moving. Maybe that's some good weed. Look. Maybe y'all need to go try it. I'm just saying, because if it's not, it's like she's so chill, she could die from that damn bee sting, but she's looking at Rula, but I'm actually the one that's allergic. Huh. Excuse me? What is happening? Her energy is so interesting to me. Very interesting to me. And again, I don't know if it's a combination of that or other things, but y'all tell me, all of y'all that get down like that. Okay? So Liz tries to make herself the martyr in this situation. So I don't want her having that narrative that she was homeless. Girl, stop. Okay? So Liz believes that Joellen is fake and phony because Joellen said something different at the dinner before with the other couples, remember? So she believes that Joellen is phony. And I kind of get where she's coming from with that, as I already said. But Alicia is still crying. They're at the restaurant waiting for Rich to come on stage, and Alicia is still crying. Ashley arrives, and she's, have you ever arrived in a situation where there was an argument and then it's just, what's going on here, guys? What did I miss? So Ashley's just, first of all, Ashley's awkward already. So Ashley's just, what is this? What is going on right now? Alicia is crying. Joellen is saying it's just allergies. Why are we saying it's just allergies when we clearly know it's not? Okay? Monique arrives. We don't know Monique. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Monique show up a little bit more next season. Apparently, she's really good friends with Alicia, best friends with Rosie. She's married to an ex-NFL player, black man. Because I was about to say, are there any black people in Rhode Island? I literally had that thought. I was like, I don't see any black people. Until they show that picture of, maybe they don't live in Rhode Island. I don't know where they live. But Alicia is so happy to see Monique. She's I'm so happy that you're here. She says, if Monique was in the car, Liz would have never done anything like that because Monique would have checked her. I was like, oh, wow. Maybe we need more of Monique. Especially because she's good friends with... Rosie definitely needed a Monique this season because they really were trying to ice her out. All right. So Rich gets up there and performs. Rich does not want to be called a Frank Sinatra impersonator. I'm not going to even hold you. You're not an impersonator, Rich. You are a Frank Sinatra karaoke king. I mean that disrespectfully. He didn't sound bad. It wasn't Ashley Darby. Okay, it wasn't Ashley Darby bad. But don't quit your day job. Is this his day job? He's like, yeah, so you were telling me and everything is gonna be all right.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Yeah, that was Rich. I was like, Rich, you are an impersonator. You're not even impersonated because I did not get Frank Sinatra from that impersonation. Did anyone else? He wasn't bad. He was at least on key. I can't say the same for Ashley Darby. Ashley stays off key. He was at least on key, but it wasn't great vocals. It was like, everybody and see. Everyone's watching him like, yes. And Rose's like, this is his element. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay. And look, yes, we do know that Frank Sinatra in that era of music, it wasn't like these big vocal acrobatics. But at the same time, I was like, I am not impressed. Don't quit your day job. But I think this might be his day job. No, he does real estate. He was a producer. And yeah, no. And even when he sang my song, when he had his second performance, I was like, wise men say. That's one of my favorite songs. I love that song. It's such a beautiful song. I remember I was in Santiago, Chile. And I was like, I forgot, was it actually someone singing it or were they playing it on an instrument? I can't remember, but I just remember hearing it on the streets of Santiago, Chile. And I was just like, oh, it just makes you, it stirs a feeling in you. I can't say that Rich stirred a feeling besides disgust. No, okay, I'm being dramatic. But no, I do believe that he's okay. But when he was singing my song, again, this edit was bad because at one particular point, unless he's just offbeat, because at one particular point he was moving very quickly for that song. Wise men say. I'm surprised Bravo even let that happen. Y'all paid for the rights for him to sing some of that? Because at one particular point, I feel like he was singing something else, but he's wise men say, only fools rush in. I'm like, sir, please and thank you, goodbye. But while he is performing, Liz and Joellen are going at it. But before they even did that, they went out for a cigarette break. I can't remember, or was that after? I don't remember. Where's my notes? Okay, so Rich performs, okay? All right, Liz apologizes for making Alicia upset and refers to herself. She's like, but I'm the monster. You know when someone's being sarcastic, but I'm the monster. And Alicia's, no, Liz, I love you. And then Liz is just not hearing it. And so Alicia starts crying again. Okay. Liz still doubling down that Alicia was never homeless. They go outside to have a conversation. Joellen follows Liz because Liz decides to go to have a cigarette. People are still smoking, apparently. So Liz goes out to have the cigarette and Joellen follows her. And she's like all up in her face. This is why I'm saying I get Joellen having Alicia's back and I don't believe Alicia's wrong. But you're doing a lot. And I don't know if you're doing a lot because it's a reality show or if you're really this person. Because they do later on say, Kelsey says that Joellen wants to be liked. And I understand completely why she wants to be liked. Because her mother did not like her. Or at least that's the energy her mother gave. So she's probably always trying to get the world's approval. And thankfully we know this story because before we were probably like, why is she always doing that? Because I could see her always trying to want everyone to like her, including the fans. She's probably catering to the fans as well. She wants the fans to like her as well because her mother never did. Oh. Poor thing. All right. Today's brought to you by our friends over at Factor, guys. Okay, I get it. It's not a new year, but it can still be a new you. As we've partnered with Factor many times, and this is no different. But let me paint a picture for you. Hunger strikes, and you're exhausted. I know it. especially on a busy day. There's something healthy in your fridge or pantry that you should be making, but you don't have it in you. Relatable, right? For me, eating healthy isn't a willpower problem. It's a setup problem until I found Factor. As I have a busy schedule, sometimes there's breaking news and I do not have the time in me to cook that meal or prepare for that meal. With Factor, I'm hitting my nutrition goals this season without the planning, grocery shopping, or cooking. What I also love about Factor is that you're getting great quality meals, dietitian approved meals. Factor has meals built around your goals, whether that's weight loss, overall nutrition, more protein, or GLP-1 support. For strength and workout recovery, check out Factor's Muscle Pro collection. As I've mentioned many times before, Factor meals are crafted with functional ingredients from lean proteins, colorful veggie, whole foods, and healthy fats. Factor bans 175 plus ingredients, no artificial colors, no sweeteners, no high fructose corn syrup, and no refined seed oils. And most importantly, convenience. Ready in 2 minutes, Factor shops, preps, cooks, and delivers straight to your door so you have more time for everything you love this spring. Head to factormeals.com/Kempire50 off and use code Kempire50 off to get 50% off and free daily greens per box with new subscription only while supplies last until September 27th, 2026. See website for more details. More details on Factor and your discounts will be available in the description. Thanks, Factor. Shout out to Factor. More information on Factor and our sponsors will be available in the description. Guys, do not forget to like today's video and subscribe to the channel. It's subscribers only live chat. We are pre-recorded, but I know you guys still want to get your Real Housewives of Rhode Island conversation. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on anything and turn on your notifications when we have breaking news, when we go live, all of that good stuff. And for those that are listening to the podcast version of this, don't forget to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. You had quite a few podcast episodes over the weekend, so be sure to check that out. And of course, happy Pride, guys. Don't forget we are doing our annual Kempire's Pride Month fundraiser for the center. 100% of your donation goes to the organization. Last year, we raised over $6,000. $6,000 we did together, so thank you. This year, we set a new goal, 10,000. It is a very ambitious goal, but I know with your help, we can definitely do it. Again, 100% of your donation goes to the organization, okay? All right, thank you to everyone that's already donated or will donate. Share our videos. All the videos will be tagged with the fundraiser. It'll be along the side somewhere here. In the live chat, you can donate. There's that little hand emoji thingy where you can donate. Help us reach our goal this week. This week alone, we're trying to raise over $2,500. Next week, another $2,500. Next week, okay, just so help us raise the money, okay? Thank you to everyone for being here for our Real Housewives of Rhode Island recap. Let's get back into this. So Joellen is outside stalking Liz, and it gets heated between them because Joellen will just not stop. And I'm not saying that Liz is right. I know I have to keep saying this because I think people will say, oh, but Liz is wrong. Yeah, but Joellen constantly being in Liz's face about this when Liz is just trying to get away from them about this. And then she doubles down. Liz doubles down again. She wasn't homeless. She wasn't homeless, but she says she's frustrated with Joellen because Joellen's in the car like, oh, she's entitled to her feelings. And Liz, she is entitled to her feelings. But I feel like you're not being authentic. I feel like you're being fake and phony. And honestly, it's true because when we look at back at what Joellen said at the dinner, she basically was downplaying that as well. And she used her husband to confirm what she said. Yeah, they were never homeless. Okay, y'all. So they go back inside and it's not over. Rich is on stage singing, When Fools Rush. Okay, anyway. So he's up there performing, all right? Me personally, Rosie is a better person than me. Because if this was my partner's live show and these women are acting, they had to be super loud. Yes, we know that there are mics and things like that, which is part of the reason why we're able to hear them. But they weren't that far from the stage. He's sitting up there and they're arguing and they're like, oh, no, no, no. And Alicia's, don't react, Joellen, don't react. I would have been so embarrassed and I would have been so annoyed with them. I'm like, Rich is up there performing, guys. This is not a good look for him. Now you're distracting from his night. So I'm actually surprised. But Rosie says in her confession, I'm just happy it's not me. She's had a rough go this season when it comes to these women coming after her. But I would have been so annoyed for Rich. He's trying to have this performance. He's really trying to make a career out of this non-singing stuff. And here y'all are screaming and hollering. She didn't pull Joellen's hair. But she tugged on it a bit. She did a Sheree. No, Sheree did a little bit, a little bit more. But do you think that was worth it for Joellen to be upset? Because later on, Joellen, you tugged on my hair, you pushed me, you kicked me, you pushed me. Look, I don't know if she kicked her because we couldn't see there, but we did see her move the chair away from her. Honestly, though, after Joellen has been in your face and is constantly asking you, what's wrong with you? You're my best friend. Don't call me your best friend when I'm annoyed with you. Don't be in my face when I'm like, leave me alone. So that's where I kind of have to ride with Liz. Now you're trying to get the reaction out of me, and now you've gotten it. The tugging of the hair, the pushing of your chair. Those things did happen, Liz. But I get your frustration. All right? So that's how that scene ends. And then I feel like for the most part, the episode, there's just a lot of these little scenes with all the women, which we'll go through. But yeah, there's just a lot of these little scenes that I'm just like, okay. So Alicia's daughter's dance recital, her daughter apparently really loves dance. They show she won this big award. So her family all gets together. This is what I do love about the show. It kind of reminds me of Real Housewives of New Jersey in a lot of ways because of the Italian family and the closeness of them, the big family. So Alicia and her family get together, her aunts and her mom, to celebrate her daughter. So they end up talking about what happened between Alicia and Liz. And Alicia tells them that she tells them about what happened with Liz. And her mom chimes in because her mom clearly knew about this already. She says she feels disrespected by Liz in regards to her downplaying the fact that they were homeless. My thing is, the way that Alicia describes what happened to her when she was younger, those folks were homeless. It wasn't even like they just went from their home. And even if they did, if she sees that as being homeless, I get it because she lost her home. So my thing is too, Liz, if her house went on fire and she said that she was homeless, would you downplay that too? You probably would. Because those people are without homes. Yes, they might have friends and family, but they don't have their home anymore. So that's basically what happened with Alicia. So Alicia's mom says she feels disrespected by it. And I'm like, oh, damn. Now the friendship. Because remember, apparently Liz was like best friends with with the mom or the aunt or something like that. They're really close. Not anymore. All right. So Alicia says that Liz is abusive. She says this in her her confessional. She says in her confessional that Liz is abusive, but she feels empowered by saying it. It's probably something that's been on her mind for a very long time, and now she's finally able to say it. So she says, Liz is abusive. And she's just, I'm just going to say it. It feels really good to finally say it. I think that a lot of the folks in this friend group feel this way about Liz. They feel bullied by Liz or scared of Liz. So one of her aunts says that Liz is just jealous. And I was like, oh, that's not going to end well for anybody. So her aunt says that Liz is jealous, and Alicia downplays, no, she's not jealous. There's nothing to be jealous of when it comes to my life. My life is far from perfect. So she says her engagement, she's been engaged for 9 years. She says her engagement wasn't what she thought it should be. It wasn't her Cinderella moment. And they flash back to Billy and her talking about it. And he's like, you're 50 years old. And I was like, oh, that's disrespectful. So I wonder what her engagement was even like. Did he just like, oh, we should get married? And that's what it was? Then no, Alicia, you deserve more. And if Billy's not willing to offer you, like, do you not realize, have we seen Billy? And no offense, Billy, but offense. Alicia is a prize. She's a beautiful woman. And now the world is seeing not only she's pretty, she's also funny. She has a lot of heart. And I'm not saying that he doesn't take care of, she said this or and everything like that. But sir, you're no prize. So if she's saying that she would like a Cinderella moment, a big proposal, and maybe she'll get it in season 2. That's the least you could do. That's the least you could do. Oh, you're almost 50 years old. Okay, and sir, do better. Do better. I'm looking at Billy with the side eye, especially after those tweets that came out. Not tweets, Instagram story. Remember these Instagram stories? She's asking for a friend. Do you think if it's okay if your spouse takes your money and pays bills without asking and you never see your money or check? That was very concerning. Hopefully that comes up at the reunion. Then she said, asking for a friend, do you think it's normal for someone to put your face and use your image and story for a business that you don't see a dollar from? And this is coming after last week where she was having him sign a contract, not a real contract, but basically asking for a piece of Pizza Mama. So I'm concerned. I'm concerned about that relationship. And again, you probably have never had a concern about your relationship, but you've put it on reality television. Now we're all putting our opinions in on it. But okay, Alicia. So Alicia says her life is far from perfect. They flash back to that scene with Billy. Then I think was that the aunt or one of the family members over there. They said they wonder if it's paranoia from the medication that Liz takes. And then they were saying, she's in the weed business. Is that why she's like that? But no, the aunt was making it seem like, no, it's something else. So everybody, I'm sure the town is talking about Liz and what pills she might be popping, allegedly. Because the energy definitely gives, okay. I feel like that scene's going to cause a lot of issues between Liz and the family. Season 2 is going to be interesting. They have been renewed for season 2. Season 2 is going to be very interesting when it comes to this cast and those women. It's going to be, especially Alicia, because Alicia is a fan favorite right now, women start to get jealous. And then a lot of times you're going to end up seeing them fighting about everything that's not necessarily about the show, but it's really about the show. Okay. Lord have mercy. All right. So from there, we have this scene with Dolores. Liz goes over Dolores's. I guess Dolores rented a place while out there because she was supposed to be on the show, but really didn't bring the show. Dolores is a mean girl. Look, I would have never thought that because I only heard really great things about Dolores being a girl's girl behind the scenes. But based on what we've seen on Real Housewives of New Jersey and what I'm seeing in this scene, Dolores is a mean girl. But we should have known that. This is the same woman that wrote a character letter for that man that attacked Dina Manzo, her ex-husband, and her then fiance. So, yeah, she wrote a character letter for him. So, Dolores' moral compass is not the best. Just want to say that. All right. So Liz goes over there. Liz recalls the fight with Alicia and says that Joe Ellen was saying, your feelings are valid. Your feelings are valid. Liz says that Joe Ellen is actually stirring the pot. Kelsey also comes over as well. Kelsey does not want any beef with Liz. She's scared of Liz as well. She already had some beef with Liz early in the season. And she's, I am not trying to go back there. They're all scared of Liz. So Kelsey does say that Joe Ellen wants to be liked by everyone. And I wrote down, I feel like this may stem from her childhood because her mama didn't like her. And I'm not being funny when I say that. Your mother sent you to all these different places that have caused you trauma, and there was really nothing wrong with you. Your mama don't like you. Okay, just saying. Okay, so I could understand why she's constantly trying to be liked, or why she has this sort of behavior where she's manipulating the group in her own way. Maybe? Okay. So Kelsey says she wants to stay out of it and believes that Liz doesn't trust Joe Ellen. I 100% believe that Liz doesn't trust Joe Ellen. But in this scene, what I noticed is that Kelsey's not going to say anything against Liz. Dolores is not going to say anything against Liz. If anything, Dolores was adding gasoline to the fire. But also, didn't Dolores also blame Rosie for why she wasn't invited to the reunion? Dolores, you weren't invited to the reunion because you were boring. And I don't even know what you're going to bring this season on Real Housewives of New Jersey. And maybe it won't stand out to us because maybe the other women will be bringing it. I don't know. But I'll let y'all know when I find out any information about Real Housewives of New Jersey in this filming. Because I haven't heard anything about Jersey yet. I did talk about on Club KEMPIRE, Real Housewives of New York and their filming and the tea that came out of there. I also talked about Real Housewives of Potomac as well. And I also talked about I Love Boosters, a very interesting movie. And when I say interesting, I didn't expect what I saw. I was like, oh, it's interesting. All right. Did you guys see it? What'd you think of it? It was an interesting movie. Would I go see it again? Probably not. Probably not. It had its funny moments, but it also had its weird moments. I need to go see Is God Is. I just reminded myself of that. I need to go see Is God Is before it's out of theaters. I still have not seen Devil Wears Prada. But I feel like it made its money. I'm trying to support black business, okay? All right. But I do want to see it because I do enjoy Devil Wears Prada. And I heard 2 was actually really good. All right. So Liz says Joellen kept touching her and saying, you got to calm down. And Dolores was just like, yeah, that would piss me off too. And I agree with that. It was annoying. Joellen was annoying for that. All right. So then we get this next scene with Rosie and Rich's family. Okay. She says she loves Rich's big Italian family. We haven't really dug into Rosie's family life. She's talked about it. Have we met her mom yet? I don't think so, right? Because she's talked about her mom and the complicated relationship she has with her mom. So that might be part of the reason why we haven't really seen a lot of that stuff. But I could also see why Rosie loves being around Rich's family because they love her. The father thinks she's so famous. Now that she's on a reality show, he probably thinks she's super famous. And she said she just really loves this big Italian family. I get it. If I was in a situation like this, I would love that too. You know what I mean? So they discussed Rosie being apprehensive about children. That's another thing that Rosie's been talking about this season. She doesn't want to have kids. When she got with Rich, he was okay with not having kids, but now he's changing his mind because he's also getting older. And she says maybe in 2 years, if he really wants to have a kid and it's a deal breaker for him, she'll think about it. So I thought that was big, especially because I never really thought she cared that much about him. Because I thought she probably would have said, if it's a deal breaker for him, I guess we'll just have to break up. But no, she said she would have to consider it. All right. All right. Rosie says to the father, who seems to love Rosie, she's, I don't think I'd be a good parent. I don't think I would be good at it. And they're like, oh, no, I get it. I get why she might feel that way because of her toxic relationship with her own mom. So I'm not surprised that she probably fears that she would be the same kind of mom that her mom was. Rosie says that, I already said this, if Rich wants to have kids in 2 years, she'll definitely consider it. She didn't say she'll do it. She said she'll consider it. But my thing is, you're getting older. And I know she says the Botox makes her look a lot younger. Yes, you do. But it has nothing to do with your eggs. Okay? But and I don't know, has she ever talked about freezing her eggs? I don't think she has. So then there's that. And my thing is, they could, if anything, they should freeze embryos, not just the eggs. But all right. Ashley. So Ashley at Audrey's. Audrey's is that's part of her storyline. The Audrey's is not doing well. They were on Watch What Happens Live last week. Apparently Audrey's is popping now because of the show. So that's still around. But the lease is almost up for Audrey's. It's still around. So we know that they signed the lease. But apparently Audrey doesn't bring in a lot of money, but they do better than breaking even. So they break even, but they also make a little bit of money over that, but they're not making it enough for it to be worth it, she says. So she also believes that these drinks, if they add these drinks to the menu, that might actually be really good for business. So she's taste testing some of these drinks that he's putting together. Here's my thing with Ashley. I feel like Ashley, at some particular point in her life, between having the kids and her relationship with Jared, she's going to lose who she is. Anyone else notice that? Because and again, if you're a Bachelor fan, a lot of you said this about her. She chased that man in order to be with him today. I feel like she's going to lose herself. Now she's a mom, focusing all of her attention on the children. And now she's focusing all of her attention on his happiness instead of thinking about her own. There needs to be a balance. I think you can do both, but I definitely think she's going to get lost because she's so focused on making sure he's happy, which is great. But at the same time, have you poured into yourself? I feel like she's always thinking about what's going on with Jared. Is Jared going to be okay? Is Audrey's going to be okay? And it could feel that way because of the show or based on what people have said about their relationship and her chasing him. I believe that it's not just the show. But so then we have this scene with Kelsey and Joe Ellen painting. I had no idea that Kelsey was a talented painter. She actually did a really good job. I was surprised. I was like, wait a minute. They showed some of her artwork during the scene before. And then I was like, okay, she can definitely draw. But then when she did that little sunset painting, I was like, oh, excuse me. Kelsey, you got more talent than I thought. Honestly. Joe Ellen recalls what happened between her and Liz. But before we get to the scene, I do want to say thank you to our sponsor, RHORI, for being here. Today's live is sponsored by RHORI. I have been loving hearing all of your stories about those of you that have taken advantage already of RHORI being a sponsor here on the channel. You've talked about how it's changed your life, how you've lost weight that you've been trying to lose for a very long time. I'm loving hearing your stories. And a lot of you have also shared how this has allowed you to take advantage of GLP-1s that are actually affordable. A lot of people think that GLP-1s are expensive. However, it doesn't have to be. And our friends over at RHORI allow you a variety of different options on how you can take advantage as well. RHORI has helped a lot of people lose weight. That's why they have the lowest cost options out there, whether you're paying with insurance or cash. RHORI's free insurance checker makes it easy to see if you're covered. Just submit your insurance card and RHORI handles the rest. There's no paperwork, no waiting on hold, and no confusing phone calls. RHORI's free insurance checker will send you a comprehensive report of your coverage details so that you can make a decision that's right for your goals. And most importantly, if insurance doesn't cover your treatment, there are still options. RHORI offers low-cost, cash-pay, FDA-approved GLP-1s, including newer dosage forms like daily pills and multi-dose pens. RHORI offers a multi-month membership option in addition to multi-month medications that help members prepay and save on their GLP-1 medications. Just another way RHORI is working to increase access to life-changing medication. Some other important details when you work with RHORI: their cash pay options ship right to your door, no pharmacy visits required. If you decide to move forward, RHORI can help you understand if GLP-1s are right for you and your goals, but that's just the beginning. That's the difference with RHORI. They're giving you the education that you fully understand what you're taking. When you become a RHORI member, you'll have support throughout the process. You'll have access to your provider on demand for any questions. Join over the 1,500,000 people who've trusted RHORI on their weight loss journey. If this was an option that I needed, I would have used RHORI. But what I've been loving is hearing all of you that have been using RHORI, even some personal friends that have been using RHORI off of our discount. If you would like to take advantage, here's your opportunity. Go to rho.co/Kempire to see if you qualify. That's ro.co/Kempire to get started on RHORI. Go to rho.co/safety for box warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. All information will be available in the description. Thanks, RHORI. And we're back, guys. Don't forget, we are also raising money for our Pride Month fundraiser for the center that provides quality, fantastic community services to the community for the last, I don't know how many decades at this particular point. 100% of your donation goes to the organization. We are trying to raise $2,500 this week, $10,000 for the month of June. The month has just began. Every little bit counts. Please share our videos with the links and everything like that. So again, thank you to everyone that's already donated or will donate. All right. So back to our Real Housewives of Rhode Island recap. Don't forget to like today's video, guys, as well. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, don't forget to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. So we have Kelsey and Joellen painting. So Joellen recalls what happened between her and Liz to Kelsey. But it's clear that Joellen is trying to check out whether Kelsey has her back on this. And Kelsey is, God, I knew this day was coming, because she's good friends with Joellen and she's good friends with Liz. And she knew that one day that she'd be caught in between them in an argument, and now she is. But Kelsey says that she wants to support both of them because she believes that neither one of them is ever 100% right. And in this situation, I have to agree with Kelsey. I don't believe Joellen's 100% right, and I definitely don't believe that Liz is 100% right in regards to what's been going on. So I don't know how they're going to resolve this. I don't, especially when you see the sit down. It's like, what is going on here? All right. So Kelsey doesn't want to get involved because she had her own issues with Liz earlier in the season. And Joellen is like, is that a real friendship? And I have to agree with Joellen. It's sort of like, if you're scared to tell your friend when they're wrong, that's not a friendship at all. But clearly that's what's happening with Liz and her friendships with these women. Some of these women are actually really scared of Liz. And Kelsey is one of them. Kelsey, I already had my fight with her. You could tell even when they had the fight, she did not want to fight with Liz. But Liz blew up on her. But Liz is one of those types of personalities. I always say Mary Cosby's like that too. One minute you could be cool with Mary Cosby or Liz, and all of a sudden it's just like they can flip on you and you don't know what could have triggered them being upset with you. I couldn't be friends with someone like that. You're always walking on eggshells. Then they end up having this conversation. Again, it felt like chopped and screwed this episode. So they end up showing each other their pictures. I'm very impressed by Kelsey's picture. Not so much Joellen's picture of her being a slam pig. OMG, you know they're going to be talking about slam pig in the entire reunion. And he's going to be like, what's a slam pig? Like, where'd that come from? And blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right, so then we get this scene that I did not expect because I was like, where's Rula? Rula is missing in action. They should put up a missing person sign for Rula in this season because she's a full-time housewife, but not really filming with the other women. And I think she's avoiding filming with the other women so they don't talk about her marriage. But they're still talking about her marriage even when she's not there. So Liz decides to have lunch with Rula. She has not seen Rula in a while, but she did send a text message to Rula when Rula had her health issues. So when she sees Rula, she's like, so how are you doing? Rula says, I'm on the mend. Do we believe that Rula had anything really going on with her health? But Rula says she's on the mend. Okay. Fine, Rula. This is what makes you actually a good housewife, to be honest with you. Like the delusions of grandeur. So Liz says she's allergic to bees. Oh, this is the scene. Excuse me. This is the scene where Rula is running away from the bee, and Liz just basically looks at the camera and says, and I'm the one allergic to bees. Not flinching, not moving at all, but I'm the one allergic to bees. Okay. That's some good stuff she's on, because anxiety does not exist there, okay? So whatever that is, we need it for the girls with anxiety, right? Come on. So Rula says that Joellen just acts like she's concerned, but she isn't. And I have to say, I get it. Rula's coming from a place because she doesn't like Joellen. But the more I'm paying attention to Joellen's behavior, I'm like, I can see that. I can definitely see how Joellen pretends. And this could, again, stem from her childhood, where she gets in where she fits in and pretends like she's actually a concerned person, but she really isn't. Liz says that she's doubting Joellen's authenticity, that she has felt this way about Joellen from the beginning. And then they flash back to the moments where Liz really has given the side eye to Joellen and her authenticity. Okay? So Rula says Joellen might be guilty of doing what Brian has done to her in regards to cheating. She says Joellen isn't loyal to her husband. Also, now she's coming out with people. See, come on now, Rula. Where's that information? Where's the solid proof? Because now it's just giving, because she's brought your tea to the show, which is true, which is documented. Like, your situation's a mess. But if you like it, we love it for you. But at the same time, don't be mad at Joellen or running with that narrative. Joellen might be doing that. Is there proof? Because there's a whole lot of proof about Brian. His whole mistress is suing y'all. So I just don't know if this is true. But we shall see how this is handled at the reunion. Okay? So she basically says that Joellen is not loyal to her own husband. So that's why she's projecting what she's doing onto Brian. Okay. All right, let's talk about this other mess. So Kelsey and Bill, her new boyfriend, her only boyfriend, okay, her only boyfriend are working out at the gym. I can't unsee the fact that the streets are saying that this relationship with her ex ended 2 years ago, and this is just a whole narrative. So I can't unsee that. So they're working out, they're having a good time. So Kelsey says that her ex pays for her gym, or used to pay for her gym membership. And now Bill pays for it. So she just wants to look, and I'm not saying that this is wrong, because there are some people that live this life and they expect certain things from their partners, okay? But I don't know if Bill can actually live up to what the ex was doing for her. I don't see this relationship lasting, but who knows? And maybe it has lasted. Maybe this is the guy she's been with since 2 years, for the last 2 years, since she broke up with the ex, allegedly. So Bill confirms that they are official because the trainer just, sorry, because he's referring to her as baby and stuff like that. So he's like, are you guys official? And this is the first time that he's actually confirmed that they're official. But my thing is, did he ask you? Because that was never a conversation. Because my thing that would have opened up was like, I think we're official. Do you think we're official? Now he just, but again, Kelsey likes that maybe traditional, oh, he makes the decisions. Maybe, because that's what she's used to. Billy, I think I want to call him Billy. They say Bill, but I want to call him Billy. Billy says that it was a long wait, but it was worth the wait. So apparently he waited 2 years, and apparently he was celibate for a year. Do y'all believe that? I can't believe anything that comes out of Kelsey's mouth, if I'm going to be honest with you. Because if you're lying about your entire storyline, everything that comes out of your mouth, I'm just giving the side eye. Bill wants Kelsey's ex to stop paying for her health and car insurance. And she says, if he does stop paying that, who's going to pay it? If you're not going to pay it. So basically, it's like an ultimatum. If he stops paying for it, then you have to start paying for it. And apparently, he can't afford that. So I don't know how y'all official if he can't give you the lifestyle that you expect. But I also don't think you really expect that. Because who's paying for that apartment that you're living in now? I don't believe the ex is paying for that. Has he been paying for that for the last 2 years? Come on now. That wasn't even the ex's house, apparently. It was the mom's house, allegedly. So Kelsey says she needs her health insurance because she had a really bad health scare a few years ago with her brain. So she has to go for MRIs twice a year. So she's I need my health insurance. She said her ex said that you need really good health insurance because of that issue. And I would agree with that. But Kelsey is not willing, Bill is not willing to pay for it. And Kelsey says, am I not going to accept my ex's gifts because of Bill's ego? And look, am I going to falter for that? No, I'm not. Because at the end of the day, if this is what she expects and Bill knows that this is what she expects, you chose to be with a woman like this. So if you can't live up to that, then you need to let her go. Because somebody else will. Apparently, or maybe not. I don't know. I know I wouldn't. Why am I paying for all yours? And we're not married. Why am I paying for your health insurance, car insurance? There are guys out here that will do it. Clearly, I'm paying for you to live in my mansion. No. And we're just boyfriend and girlfriend. No, that's not gonna happen. No. Look, nah. I don't know. I just can't with Kelsey. There's something about Kelsey that just gives inauthentic. Speaking of inauthentic, Liz, it definitely gives inauthentic. And her scenes for me just feel like, I don't know. I just am not convinced. Not convinced at all. And it does feel like, again, in her inauthenticity, meaning that she will also, anything that Liz, so she doesn't have a fight with Liz, anything that Liz wants and says, she's going to go along with it. And I do feel like that in certain parts of the group. People are just going along with certain things because they have alliances to certain people. But anyway, so then we have this final scene between Liz and Joellen, which we'll get to. But today is also brought to you by our friends over at Baskin Lather. It's been over a month since I started using Baskin Lather. Not on my head, on my beard, of course. You guys have been complimenting me on the difference in my beard, but what I've also loved is hearing your personal stories with Baskin Lather and how it's helped you with dryness, with your alopecia, whatever it may be. And I want to keep hearing your stories, so feel free to share them in the comments. But what I also love is that they have something for everyone. So if you are a guy with some hair, they have something for you. If you're a woman with hair, they have something for you. Nourish and hydrate from the inside out with 100% natural ingredients. A nourishing hair balm for curly or kinky hair that helps reduce hair breakage and adds shine. When used regularly, users have seen results in about 3 months. Made with ingredients that can penetrate hair strands without clogging pores, non-greasy formulation with no petroleum or lanolin. Keep any hair type soft, shiny, and hydrated. Combines aloe vera and avocado oil to reduce frizz, treat dryness, detangle, and redefine curls. Can be used in combination with other products for customized routine. And as always, I love supporting a Black-owned business. The CEO's younger sister was misdiagnosed by a dermatologist, and that inspired the company to take things into their own hands. And they've made not just a difference in their own lives, but so many other lives since. But of course, I know you've been waiting to hear about a discount. We've got you covered. Explore viral bestsellers and products of healthier hair of all types from Baskin Lather. Go to baskinlatherco.com and use code KEMPIRE for 20% off. That's 20% off at baskinlatherco.com, code KEMPIRE. More information on Baskin Lather will be available in the description. Thanks, Baskin Lather. Shout out to Baskin Lather. More information on them and our sponsors will be available in the description, guys. Do not forget to like today's video as well. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. As you can hear, my voice is going because it's been a busy day. But this is a pre-recorded live. So for those that are just joining us, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check out everything that you may have missed over the weekend. Let's get to this final fight because I don't have a lot to say about this because it went left. And as I said to you guys before, everything that I heard about this cast, and now I'm starting to see it, every time they would be interacting, it was always some sort of fight going on amongst these women. And I'm just like, what are you guys fighting about? Why are you constantly fighting? To the point where the other housewives are like, what is wrong with these women? Is this over the top just to be over the top? Or is this because you guys really are just nuts? Now, after watching the season, it might be the latter. Just nuts. I don't know. But anyway, so Joellen calls Alicia to let her know she's on her way to have a meeting or a conversation with Liz. All right. And she basically says that if she doesn't apologize to me first, I'm not apologizing. So she's expecting an apology. Liz is expecting an apology. So they actually meet up and they sit down. It's awkward for a hot second. And then it goes left very quickly. The weather already was like going left. It was like starting to pour and whatnot. So Liz, it's them rehashing the same thing. I don't even want to rehash everything that they said. But basically, Liz is like, you're not my best friend. And Joellen is really upset by that. She's like, how are you not my best friend? You were the first person I called after my grandfather died. And I was just like, here's the thing, though. I do believe that some people live in their own little world when it comes to stuff like that. There are people in this world referring to you as a best friend and you don't see them as your best friend. Okay. I don't know. I need to confirm. We're best friends, right? And countless times throughout this episode, Liz said to her, you are not my best friend. And I get it. I get why Liz would say that because she says, I don't trust you. I don't believe that you're authentic. But Joellen says, I'm confused. I thought that you were my best friend. Apparently not. Apparently not. So this conversation doesn't go anywhere. If anything, it just makes the situation between them even worse. Because Liz feels that Joellen basically threw her under the bus when it comes to the Alicia situation. Because one night you're saying that you don't believe that she was homeless, but when you're in front of her, you're like, oh, your feelings are valid. And da, da, da. But Liz doubles down on the fact that Alicia was not homeless. So your apology to Liz for what you said and for hurting her feelings, I guess you apologize for hurting her feelings and you never took back the fact that you didn't think that she was homeless. But still, then damn, now I understand why Alicia doesn't feel good about the situation with you. So I found that to be interesting. I did not expect this conversation to be amicable because it doesn't feel like these women have the emotional maturity to do something like that. But at the same time, I have to say, Alicia and Rosie, they had their little bit of a fight earlier in the season and they were quickly over it. But I think, again, season 2 of this show is going to be so interesting. Because I also think that Joelle and Rosie, although they got off to a rough start, I do feel like I can see them ending up being friends. I wouldn't trust her though, Rosie. I really would not trust Joellen, to be honest. Because I think Joellen will do anything to produce a moment in television. I'm starting to see that about Joellen. I would, the same way I wouldn't trust Kelsey. I definitely see that. And also I wouldn't trust Joellen because she might be if she isn't the one that put the battery in Kelsey's back to come after you. So I wouldn't trust Joellen. There's these cliques that are going on. Liz was a part of that clique, but Liz probably, the reason why she doesn't trust Joellen is because she knows how Joellen moves behind the scenes. And then they show all the examples where Liz basically was calling that out. I don't know. Again, this is going to be an interesting season 2. I would be surprised if they're going to add additional people or start casting. Speaking of starting casting, I did see that on Humble Brag, Cynthia confirmed that they are currently casting for Real Housewives of Atlanta for season 18. I thought that was really interesting because usually they would start casting after the reunion, but they're always looking for people. So, do I have the clip here? Let me play the clip for you guys. This is, shout out to No Chaser TV. Cynthia, I said this on the Humble Brag podcast.
Casting, we'll talk about.
Hold on.
All right. And you know what? They're actually casting. We'll talk about Housewives of Atlanta later, but I think they've started casting for season 18 already.
Yeah. Really?
Oh, no, they don't mess around. We shoot the reunion in 2 weeks, but they've already started casting. Yeah.
Wow.
Every year. Is it the same for Beverly Hills? For Atlanta, regardless of what the cast is, they always still cast for other people just in case. They always, every year, see what else is out there or who else is out there.
Oh, yeah. They don't just stick to the same cast. There's always casting out there.
Here's my thing. In regards to Real Housewives of Atlanta, again, this is like a mini Tuesday takeover for those that are just joining us. When it comes to casting for Real Housewives of Atlanta, who would you get rid of? Honestly, I wouldn't get rid of a lot of people. Shamia, I think you personally should just step down, but if I had to force your hand, I would force your hand. There's just nothing redeeming about Shamia. That's me. I get why they kept Shamia. They wanted a married housewife. They want the woman with the money. So that's pretty much what's saving her position. I see some of y'all coming around to Pinky. I've been telling y'all I want to see this full circle moment with Pinky. I think because she hasn't been mentioning her bankruptcies the last couple of episodes, you guys are impressed. Okay. Angela, queen to be. Okay. Kelly, I think if Shamia's not there, it would be interesting to see what Kelly would offer, but I think we've given Kelly a moment. I'm not saying that Kelly's a bad housewife, but I feel like her situation is just going to get worse when it comes to not being able to film with her kids. Excuse me. She put something in my throat, y'all. I don't know. I feel like the situation is just going to get worse. And then, okay, so what are we following? You can't film with your kids. What is Jarvis is in the phone. That's not even his real name. I don't know. And that's her. That would be her. That would be her and Shamia's second season. Andy likes to give them 2 seasons. K. Michelle, I know the voices in her head are annoying us, but maybe they'll give her a second season and she'll be less annoying next season. We shall see. We shall see. That's the update. That's what's coming for. Oh, damn. I forgot to finish playing let me go back and play the rest of it.
All right. And you know what? They're actually casting. We'll talk about Housewives of Atlanta later, but I think they've started casting for season 18 already. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, no, they don't mess around. We shoot.
And Cynthia will be coming back with her friend of contract.
The reunion in 2 weeks, but they've already started casting. Yeah.
Wow.
Every year. Is it the same for Beverly Hills? For Atlanta, regardless of what the cast is, they always still cast for other people just in case. They always every year see what else is out there or who else is out there.
Oh, yeah. They don't just stick to the same cast. There's always casting out there. Over the past few months, my friends are getting calls. They'll call me. What do you think? Or I said, no way. I knew that someone I knew fairly well was almost got the show last year.
Yeah.
That would have been in place of Rachel, but they're really close. So it was that circle. Okay. So maybe she's in play again this year. You never know.
They definitely need something over there when it comes to Beverly Hills. You may have seen the rumors about Crystal Minkoff coming back. She does talk about that in this episode, and she says that if that was a situation, she'd be open to it. I heard that's not true in regards to Crystal coming back next season. But again, it's still early because apparently they're not going to start filming until the end of the summer, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I heard that Crystal allegedly may have filmed something else. And that's all I'm going to say. Moving on. I should have dropped that. I completely forgot to talk about that during our Club KEMPIRE episode. But yeah, I've heard something else was filmed, but it's not Beverly Hills. Just saying. But again, doesn't mean that Beverly Hills can't happen because, again, it's not going to happen to the end of the summer. But she's putting it out there, and I think this is strategic. She's putting it out there that she's open to returning. Look, she's married. She lives the lifestyle. I definitely think Crystal would be different this time around because now she can see it from a different side. I think the podcasting world has also opened her up to speak up a little bit more and how to navigate that world. It'll be interesting to see her on Ultimate Girls Trip because she's going to make an appearance there too. How she navigates that and if she seems different in regards to that and more authentically herself. But we shall see. We shall see. All right, y'all. On that note, I appreciate you all being here for our Real Housewives of Rhode Island recap and mini Tuesday takeover special. If you haven't already, be sure to like today's video. Be sure to donate to our Pride Month fundraiser. 100% of your donation goes to the organization that we're raising the money for, The Center. So shout out to them and all the great work that they do. And shout out to our King's Guards for holding us down in the live chat. Those of you part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions on this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Rhode Island. This was pre-recorded. I appreciate your patience with us. This summer is going to be busy for me, just an FYI. The content will still be coming, but you might get more pre-records than anything just because I got a lot going on. Which I'm grateful, but yeah, a lot going on. All right, y'all. I appreciate you all being here. Everyone have a great rest of your Tuesday. I will see you all in the next one. Be sure to check out the description in regards to all of our sponsors. Bye, y'all.
Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Don't forget to give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for more information on the podcast, head on over to KempireRadio.com.